This particular problem concerns the method of sealed bids to determine a fair division. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a larger copy of this and read the problem. Alan, Bill, and Carson are dividing 5 items using the method of sealed bids. Their bids on each of the items are given in the table on the right. Use this information to answer parts A through D. And we can see that we have 3 columns, one for Alan, one for Bill, and one for Carson. And then item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, and item 5 for the 5 rows. And then, of course, there are dollar values assigned to each bid. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use the technology that's incorporated into MyMathLab in order to do the calculations. Maybe not that much quicker, but it will definitely do the heavy lifting for us. Now, as you can see from the screen, you're going to be in the homework section or even the quizzes and tests section of MyMathLab, and you're going to want to come over here to Multimedia Library and left click on that. That will bring up this screen, and since we are looking in Chapter 6, Methods of Sealed Bids, we're going to click this drop down menu and go to the Mathematics of Sharing for Chapter 6. And then we want to left click Java Applets, and we'll left click Find Now, and you'll see the method of sealed bids down here, and we'll left click this. You need to make sure that your Java settings are enabled so that you can access Java from this particular website. This happens to be media.pearsoncmg.com, and you will need to go into your Java settings so that this thing will run. Now, what you need to do is you want to left click Specify Bids. Once you left click Specify Bids, it's going to bring up this table, and you need to set the table so that it corresponds to the number of columns and the number of rows that we have in the table. We're going to have 3 columns because we have 3 individuals, and we're going to have 5 rows because there are 5 items. So we need to set that. Down here you'll see where it says Table Auto Resize. Definitely click that so that and have that checked. We're going to have 3 players and 5 items, and this gives me the players A, B, and C. And the thing about this is I can go ahead and put the names in there if I want to. You'll see that up here we have labels A, B, and C, and what we're going to do is make this table look exactly like the one that we have going for us, which is going to be Alan in the first column, Bill in the second column, and Carson in the third column. So we want to go ahead and just type in their names. We're going to come down here and highlight, and I'm going to type in Alan space Bill space Carson, and then I will left click Read Names, and we'll see that those names do occur up here. Now I need to go ahead and left click in the field where I'm going to input the dollar values. These dollar values must contain the dollar sign, otherwise it will not be read correctly. And if I just simply backspace till I have just a dollar sign, I can type in the first amount, which is 14,000. And then I can just use my tab key to go ahead and cycle through each one of these and add in the correct values according to the table to the right. And we'll go ahead and continue to do that. Okay, now you see that I've got all these values entered in here. And next we're going to left click Process Bids. That's going to pop up another Java window. You'll notice that it's blank, but over here on the left hand side this Java window has added 5 rows. And what we want to do is we want to talk about the fair share of Alan. If we left click that, it gives me the total and then the fair dollar share. You'll notice here on the right hand side that it also does the calculations for me and indicates that. Now I'm going to do the fair share for Bill, and it gives me Bill's fair share. And now I'm going to do the fair share for Carson. Then we'll do the first settlement for Alan. It gives me these values. The settlement for Bill, and then the first settlement for Carson. And then we'll go ahead and do the final settlement for all 3 of these. And you have to do each one of these, and you'll notice that the table is now completely filled out, and over here on the right hand side it gives you the information that you need to answer the questions in MyMathLab. Alright, you'll see that we want to go ahead and answer part A, find the value of each player's fair share. What is a fair share to Alan? You'll left click in the field and you're going to enter the fair share for Alan. Now remember, over here in this Java window it tells me, which is $30,333.33. And that's what we want to add in over here. So $30,333.33. And you'll see that when we go ahead and hit enter, we get the well done screen from MyMathLab. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and now I want to add in what is the fair share to Bill. Notice over here Bill's fair share is $35,333.33, and we'll go ahead and left click in this field and we'll add that in. Once again, I've entered the number, I've pressed enter, and I get the excellent screen, and I'm going to go ahead and type in what is the fair share for Carson. And that's going to be $35,000 even, so we will left click, type that in, and we move on to the next part, which is describe the first settlement. Who gets which item and how much do they pay or get in cash? Who gets item number 1? And once again, we're going to return to this particular computation screen. First settlement, Alan gets no items and is owed by the estate $30,333.33. Bill gets items 3 and 5 and owes the estate $10,666.67. And Carson gets items 1, 2, 4 and owes the estate $34,000. So we'll go ahead and left click Carson's radio button for part B, because that describes the first settlement. And then we will go ahead and we will check, and that tells me that I did a good job on that. And I'm going to go ahead and answer the rest of these using the Java calculation window. Notice that I've gone ahead and started answering some of these, but notice right here for who gets item 3 that the names are out of order from what they have been, and they change it up in this program. And you want to make sure that you're paying very close attention, because you may look at it as Alan, Bill, Carson, and then click an incorrect radio button. Okay, so we've gone ahead and answered all of these for item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, and item 5 respectively. Now, the question, does Alan pay money or get money in this settlement? Once again, we're going to go ahead and look at the Java calculation window. It tells me what the surplus is in this case, which is $14,333.33. Final settlement, Alan gets no items and receives from the estate. Alright, once again, we're going to look at, does Alan pay money or get money in this settlement? As I said before, Alan gets no items and receives from the estate $30,333.33 plus $4,777.78, which is equal to $35,111.11. So Alan is going to get money from the estate. So we go ahead and do the final check, or I should say in this settlement. How much money does Alan pay or get in this settlement? Now for this one, how much money does Alan pay / get in this settlement? We're talking about the money that is originally given in the first settlement. He gets no items and is owed by the estate $30,333.33. So then we click OK. And then the next one, does Bill pay money or get money in the settlement? And we look at this, Bill gets items 3 and 5 and owes the estate $10,666.67. So Bill pays money to the estate. We check that, looking good. Then we want to put in how much money he pays to the estate, which in this case is going to be $10,666.67. So Bill is going to pay $10,666.67. And then the next part is, does Carson pay money or get money in this settlement? Here, Carson is going to get items 1, 2, and 4 and will owe the estate $34,000, so he's going to pay money. And we're going to type in $34,000 according to this. The next question is find the surplus after the settlement is over, and if you look here, you'll see surplus, and it's going to be negative $30,333.33 plus $10,666.67 plus $34,000, which is $14,333.33, and that's what we'll type in here. Now, one of the things I do want you to notice here is that if you double check the addition of negative $30,333.33 plus $10,666.67 and $34,000, you get $14,333, not 0.33 but 34. I just wanted you to be aware of that. Now, we'll go ahead. I've entered the number, and we're going to go ahead and click that in. So you might want to double check these numbers just to make sure. So then the next part is describe the final settlement, who gets which item and how much do they pay or get in cash. The players receive the items as found in part B. Alan pays or gets blank in the final settlement. In the final settlement, you'll see that Alan gets no items and receives from the estate $30,333.33 plus $4,777.78, which according to this is $35,111.11. We type that value in, we hit OK, and we get fantastic. So now we're going to move on. We'll left click OK here, and that brings us to what Bill pays or gets in the final settlement. And we see that Bill is going to receive items 3 and 5, and he's going to pay to the estate $10,666.67 minus $4,777.78, and we're going to end up with this number right here. We'll type in $5,888.89, press enter, and we end up with the correct answer. And now we simply need to add in the last value for Carson, and in this case it's going to be $29,222.22. You'll see we enter that in, and now we have finished. So once we've done all the calculations, we've double checked our numbers just to make sure everything's correct, we've entered them in, and we can move on to the next